Welcome back. Well, more than a year ago, a multidisciplinary investigation team was established to look into taxi-related killings in the Western Cape. But the taxi violence is still continuing there. 2 people died in a suspected taxi-related dispute last week in Camps Bay. Our reporter Nasiphi Same joins us now. Nasiphi, good afternoon to you. We've all been aware of this problem. We can even probably tell you which routes these problems have been happening on. What's the latest?
Well, what's the latest, Stephen, is what you mentioned, the recent incident that claimed 2 lives, leaving 1 person injured in Camps Bay last week in a suspected taxi-related incident or dispute, rather. And just to bring you up to speed, just this year alone in 2022, there's been over 120 people that have died due to taxi dispute, or rather some use the words taxi violence. And that is quite a large number. And as you put it, last year, sometime in April, there was that establishment of that multidisciplinary task team to investigate some of these shootings, not some rather, but all of these shootings, and obviously bring those responsible for the killings to book. However, I am joined by the Secretary of CATA here in the Western Cape, who might also be able to paint a picture for us as to how effective is this multidisciplinary task team that the police establish, including with other government structures, or spheres rather. But Mr. Didi, thank you so much for your time. But last week, there was an incident that happened in Camps Bay, suspected to be taxi-related, over a dispute over routes. How best do you move forward in terms of resolving disputes with other associations and ensuring that there is no life lost?
Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon to your viewers. We are working very hard in making sure that the incidents of the like of last week is avoided by making sure that we've got meetings, ongoing meetings with all our counterparts in the Western Cape, especially those we are driving the same routes with. So that is what we are doing. In terms of the task team that you are referring to, we are not, or rather I am not aware of. So I cannot comment to it. I'm sure it is something that is got to do with intergovernmental matters.
I mean, you're saying that you meet regularly with various associations to deal with issues of disputes, but how effective are these meetings? I mean, if we're seeing what we saw last week that played out in Camps Bay, claiming 2 lives, 1 taxi driver and a bystander, rather.
Look, there are other issues that are not entirely upon us to resolve. The issues that has to do with the planning, the issues that has to do with the issuing of permits and so forth. So those are the kind of issues that are not on us. The issue of Camps Bay last week, it is a very unfortunate incident that if maybe the drivers had alerted the people of the mother bodies, could have been avoided, because it does not seem to be the issue that we were not able to resolve if it was brought to our attention. Because these 2 associations, they've been coexisting there for quite some time, since the introduction of the My City bus in the area of Hout Bay. So these 2 associations, they coexisted for quite some time. So to come today and have such issues that one thinks that they were unable to resolve.
I mean, Mr. Madidi, we're going into the festive season. The number of people that have died due to taxi violence this year is over 120. Just this year alone, that is drivers and commuters. I mean, going into the busy festive season, how does one ensure, or your associations in the Western Cape, ensure that we do not have the same incidents playing out during the busy festive season where people are going about shopping and going to various destinations?
I'm sure you'll appreciate to know that since August last year, there have been a decrease in the incidents of violence in the industry. I'm not saying there were no incidents, but they have decreased very much, because we have started the team that speaks to all these associations that has problems. The likes of Ceres, we had the problems in Ceres, they were dealt with among the associations that are using that particular area. Same applies to this one in Hout Bay. We are dealing with it. We are talking with Codeta, the association that those people of Hout Bay, some are affiliated to Codeta and some to Kata. So these two mother bodies, they are talking about it.
Are you concerned about the 120 plus people that have died due to taxi violence just this year alone?
Definitely. One life lost is too many. So having 120 as if we are at war in South Africa, it's quite scary. However, we urge the government, that is the police and all the authorities, to also work with us in this, because some incidents are the incidents that can be avoided if the government, the planning authority especially, can work, do their part, the issuing of permits and so forth. So we work together in making sure that these incidents are avoided.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matiti, there, Secretary of Kata in the Western Cape, calling on for a more collaborative approach in regards to the taxi industry, be it the associations and the relevant government spheres, to avoid life being lost due to taxi disputes or route disputes within the Western Cape.
Nasiphi Same, thank you very much indeed for that update. An ongoing problem in the Western Cape, many other parts of the country.